no, they released Trump's tax returns. But you know what's more important? The sanctity of our actual elections. And salutations, my lovely little lunatics. It's me, your good old internet personality, ENSane, here with my co-host, Bob.
Hello.
And today, on the ENSane Reply. Well, they did it. They did it. They did it.
They did what?
They finally got his tax returns.
Oh, no. That's not what we're talking about, is it?
No. No one cares about that. No one. What we're actually talking about is, give me a second. Ba-ding.
Texas official and 3 others indicated on 134 felonies in mail-in ballot fraud case. Wow.
And I've got several stories here. This one's just the first. From ABC 13 Eyewitness News. Kilgore, Texas.
What a name.
That's pretty, that is. I want to live in Kilgore.
Probably don't.
Probably don't. With top Republicans, including the president, bringing up claims of fraud involving bail-by-voting indictments. Indictments announced Thursday against the Democratic Party commissioner in East Texas appear to bolster those accusations. The Office of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced 134 felony charges.
Wait, wasn't only 4 enough to put Garrett for 95 years?
Yeah, but those involved a lot of murder stuff. And this is politics.
So a slap on the wrist.
Most likely. Continuing on. 134 felony charges were filed against Gregg County Commissioner Shannon Brown and 3 co-defendants. Oh, wow, this was all against 4 people.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they may actually serve some time then. In connection to the alleged vote harvesting scheme involving a Democrat primary in 2018. According to Paxton's office, Brown and the others targeted young, able-bodied voters to cast ballots by mail by fraudulently claiming these voters were disabled. In most cases, without these voters' knowledge or consent. The indictments claim that these were done to increase the pool of ballots needed to swing the race in Brown's favor. And this is just small little thing. Small little thing.
Wow, that, once again, is actually kind of scary just to see how this happened, and now they want to do it worldwide.
Yes. Which leads us to the next one. Bob?
Oh, more than 500,000 mail ballots were rejected in primaries that could make the difference in battleground states this fall.
Yep.
Oh, God, it just gets worse.
Yes, it does. Now, I'm not going to read this whole article because it just goes on and on and on and on and on. So we're going to go to the next one. This is another quick little article I just found.
Mail-in ballots make voter fraud easy. I know because I did. It's an opinion piece. The Sun Sentinel.
Yes, by Margaret Minge. Or whatever you say your name. But yeah, basically she goes on to talk about how she ended up getting multiple ballots and filled them out under different names. I filled them out listing 3 different names, 2 I had pulled out of my head.
And this was back in 2011.
Yep, that's pretty funny. Our proposed solution is moving everyone by voting mail, but President Trump is a fan. Of course it's not. Next one.
Florida Attorney General asks for investigation into Bloomberg's fundraising to push cover fines for felons who want to vote. What is this about?
This one is actually kind of interesting. So, Bloomberg, who doesn't like Trump and tried to run for a presidential candidate and failed miserably.
Oh, I loved watching it.
It was great to watch. Another by the Sun Sentinel. Well, what's going on is, in Florida, if you have fines and all, or if you have to pay, I think it's like, well, we'll see here. Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody sent a letter to the FBI and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement this week, asking them to investigate the millions that billionaire Mike Bloomberg helped raise to offset fines and court fees for felons so they can vote.
So, okay, so say you serve your time and all that.
Yes.
Then, as long as you haven't paid everything, you can't vote?
Correct.
I think it's better than not being able to vote at all.
It is true, but then you have situations like this.
And of course, he just wants them to vote for where their heart lies.
Yes, which is why he's only giving money to the people who are probably going to vote Democrat. It would be hilarious if they all of a sudden turned it for Trump.
Yeah, especially if Trump does prison reform.
Then yeah, that'd be hilarious, because Kamala, as we all know... Well, yeah, we all know that she actually wants to keep you in longer and use your slave labor. Anywho, Moody's letter says, in part, an even otherwise innocuous offering of an incentive simply to vote could run afoul of Florida election laws. Incentives could be offered to a voter in a way that could be designed to directly or indirectly cause the voter or a large group of voters to vote in a particular matter.
Like a billionaire Democrat saying, hey, I'll pay your fines if you know to help me out in a way.
Never do that again. Let's never do that again. Moody's letter states she was asked to look into the matter by Governor Ron DeSantis. Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried, the only statewide elected Democrat, called Moody's move politically motivated. It's unfortunate the Republican Party views denying people the right to vote as a necessity in their path to an election in 2020.
Man, she is pulling the party line.
She really is, and we have the case of the wibbly wobbly tongues today.
It is a Monday.
It is a Monday. Moody's office conducted a preliminary review of the limited public information and law, including Washington Post article published Wednesday about Bloomberg raising $16 million to assist Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Bloomberg intends to give the money to the coalition, a voting rights group that pushed to pass Amendment 4 in 2018, which automatically restores a felon's right to vote after they have completed their sentence. The amendment doesn't apply to the convicted of murderers or sex offenses.
Well, at least there's that.
Yeah, there is that. That is okay. They did somewhat good. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're not going to continue on. We're going to jump over to the next one by CNN.
Fake news.
But sometimes, they do get one right. Well, bam!
Judge invalidates Paterson, New Jersey city council election after allegations of mail-in voter fraud. So wait, there's actually been a place that did this.
Yep.
And it failed.
Yep.
And they still want to do this.
To a degree, they're actually kind of backing off because they realize that the people who have the biggest problem with mail-in voting are new voters and minorities.
The two ones they want the most?
Yes! So it'd become even easier to say, wait a minute, where do all these votes come from? Blah. Continuing on! A New Jersey judge invalidated a city council election and ordered a new one after allegations of voter fraud, according to the ruling issued Wednesday. The May 12th election for Paterson's 3rd Ward City Council was rife with mail-in vote procedural violations. Judge Ernest Caposella said in his ruling, though he left the decision on whether there was voter fraud to the criminal courts. Of course, President Donald Trump's companion and Republicans have grasped onto the election problems in Paterson as they argue against the plan from New Jersey's Democratic governor to have universal vote by mail. They said the fraud in the city's race forebodes fraud in November.
Of course it does, and I'm really bad the person who's actually pushing for it from the same place.
It is pretty bad. Anywho, we have two more. I'm just kind of reading off these for a little bit so it doesn't take a huge amount of time. The Hill!
7 military ballots cast for Trump found discarded in Pennsylvania.
Yes, basically they were found in a ditch. A handful of ballots cast by members of the military for President Trump were found discarded in Pennsylvania, the Justice Department announced on Thursday. Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salvati asked the DOJ and FBI to open an investigation into the article's ballots on Monday following reports of the potential issues with small number of mail-in ballots of the blah, 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 blah election, the Department of Justice said in a release. Continuing, and actually, I like this part here. Trump won the county by nearly 20 percentage points in 2016. So there's actually an issue here. It's not like 5 people just disappeared. But the biggest one, before I just talk to myself and randomly.
Project Veritas uncovers ballot harvesting fraud in Minnesota. Divine.
Okay, so this actual video. That's a wrap. We'll just boop. So basically, yes, actual voter fraud. They post a whole video, and it's about people just talking about how it's been done. Right here. Just today, we got 300 for Jamal Umsan, says Muhammad, a.k.a. King Libin 1 in a video. I have 300 ballots in my car right now. Numbers don't lie. You can see my car is full. All of these are absentee ballots. Look at all these are for Jamal Umsan, he says, displaying the white envelopes. Money is king in this world, and a campaign is driven by money. So, yes. On the same day that Trump's tax returns got leaked out, Veritas decides, I'm going to put out the first part of this video. So they do. And also this whole thing is like one of the alleged ballot harvesters, Libin Muhammad, the brother of Minneapolis City Council member Jamal Hassan, is shown. Yeah, he's talking about the whole thing. And this just proves it. Because here's the thing, especially in this time of want and need with the pandemic and all, people, they don't think their vote counts, so they'll sell it. Just like they did here. And it's obvious, and it's really big in it's, as it says here, where paid workers illegally gather absentee ballots from elderly Somali immigrants. Because one, they don't trust the way things work because it didn't work that well back where they came from. So they end up selling off their votes, and then, which of course is illegal, and then of course it's just all it's all awful.
It really is, and this really does invalidate all that stuff people kept saying about, what are you talking about? There's no such thing. How long did it take to pull up all these articles?
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes for all of these?
Yep. And there are probably many more that I just decided weren't good enough. But anywho, it really proves it. That and they're just pushing harder and harder for it.
Also, didn't they push for the whole no signature verification and all that stuff?
Yep.
God, it's awful.
And it's just gonna get worse. But it's pretty funny how it's, of course, every time you talk about something, every time I posted anything, I then get a little slap from whatever company, Twitter, YouTube, about, well, actually, the facts are, shut up! We know you're biased. We know you don't want Trump because Trump is offering Article 230 reform.
Which we desperately need.
Oh, yeah! Just like the voter reform and all this stuff. God. Really, I'm waiting to see the next video for good old Veritas. We'll see what they got next.
You know it's gonna be good.
It is, and it's hilarious watching everyone just rip over Veritas. Like, but they did, that's a. And I just look back and I was like, pretty much everything they've ever done comes out to be true. It's pretty funny. Anywho, I don't have too much more to add to this. The video's going on a little long regardless. So, anywho, if you like this little video, then check out that one. And subscribe for more.
Insanity.
And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.